guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the Ship With Me. These are all sales that came in basically from Friday night. It's Monday morning now. Some really great sales came through, some really good high-end pieces, some cool vintage pieces, a couple great bundles. I cannot wait to kind of share with you what moved, how long it took to sell, what I got for it, what I paid for it, kind of inviting you into that process on my side and just have somebody to chat with while I get my work done. But before we get started, if you are new here, first and foremost, welcome. Welcome to the party. I am Julia. We talk all things thrifting, vintage, and reselling on the internet here. If that is anything that you're interested in, hit subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. We're building this beautiful community of fellow thrifters and vintage lovers and fellow resellers and really just trying to raise the tides for everybody. But without further ado, guys, I've got a lot of stuff to ship. I am racing the rain. It is, surprise, surprise, gonna rain again here in the Southern California. And I would like to get these to the post office before it starts pouring. So without further ado, guys, go grab yourself a snack, go grab yourself a drink. You know what I've got here, and let's get into the shipments. So the first thing I'm gonna ship out is kind of a huge sale. This is something that I found a couple months ago, and I have it dry cleaned and I wanna keep it in the bag, so I'm not gonna take it out. But this is called the Belle of the Ball Gown from Free People, and I found this, and it has a really interesting tag on it. Like the Free People logo is embroidered on a piece of net. I'd never seen it before, but I picked it up because it felt really nice, and the embellishment felt really special. It's pleated, it's floor length, it's this beautiful burnt red color. This thing was $600 new from Free People, which, is always kind of crazy to me how expensive some of their pieces can get. Just trying to do this so I don't destroy all of the pleating. Pleating is so tough, and it's just not something that us mere mortals can handle. Okay. I've already put some paper cushioning in the bottom there, so I just wanted to make sure that this kind of stays as tidy as it can. And of course, the plastic serves as a little bit of a moisture barrier just in case. So this I found, and it had, it was in great shape, but somebody had sewn, in a very rudimentary way, they had sewn cups in. So I removed the cups and had it dry cleaned just to kind of get it fresh and get those, the pleats were a little bit kind of messy. So I took it to a dry cleaner to let a professional kind of do their thing with it. Typically, if it's something that's going to be in that kind of stratosphere of over $100, and it is finer material, silk or whatever, or it has kind of specialty finishing like pleats, I'm going to spend the money on dry cleaning. It's just, in my heart, it's what I feel is right. These people should be getting things, as much as possible, ready to go out of the bag. So that was an easy choice for me. Had it dry cleaned, came out beautiful. I'm going to tape this box on all sides and get all the cracks and crevices to prevent any points of easy ingress for any kind of moisture. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. So I'll talk to you when it's all over. At the bins for $1, and I did invest some money in getting it prepped for sale, dry cleaning, and some time, of course, getting the cups out and whatever. So a lot of the sold comps on this were in the $400 range. Again, this was $599 retail. I listed it for $260, which is more than a great profit for me, and I got an offer after about, I think I had this for 2 or 3 months, for $238, which I gladly accepted. So I'm super pleased with that, with the cost from the bins, and I'm not really factoring in the cost of dry cleaning or anything. This brought my profit to $185.38. literally my ASP for this weekend, I think, is somewhere close to $40. I'll put it in the title and on the cover here. But this was a great weekend, and this obviously helped lift that tide. But even still, like, there's a lot of like really great sales that came through. But I'm very happy about this, and I'm very happy that I was able to find it in the bins, because that was actually in one of those bins that was about to be rolled away. And I just, like, I saw it, I'm like, this is something special. So I grabbed it, and when I was like really inspecting it at my bins, I figured out what it was. So those are the kind of finds that really like feed my soul, because that was about to be shipped overseas and maybe put into a landfill, or God only knows what happens to them. So very, very happy about that. And it's going on to a new life, and it's going to be worn, and it's stunning, and I hope she loves it. Now, next up here is the first of a few bundles that I have this week, and this one's actually going to one of you, which makes me so happy. First up is this gorgeous J. Jill, I believe this is silk blend sweater dress in this gorgeous, like, neutral kind of taupey tan. It's a straight silhouette. It's in beautiful condition. Just a perfect, you know, closet staple. This is one of those pieces that'll be like in your closet forever, because this will never be out of style. And it's, again, perfect condition. It's always so interesting folding women's clothes, because we do sometimes have darts and stuff that make it like not even. And I'm like, I like a nice clean fold. So that is piece number one. And then the other half of this bundle is this great little like blazer from Eileen Fisher. There's a little lint here. Off. The joy of wearing black. I am a black wearer, and we have lint rollers stashed all over this house. So this is a great, like, simple blazer, but the fabric on this is like this incredible four-way stretch, and it's so hard. Like, when I was photographing this and listing it, it was one of those things that was like kind of hard to describe, and it was hard to photograph because, number one, it's black and it's Eileen Fisher, so we know it's like a minimalist cut. You know, there's very little embellishment on it, but you cannot capture the stretch of this blazer in pictures. And like, here's the sleeve. Are you ready for this? I mean, this is not just stretch. This is not just stretch in the fact that like, oh, you have a little bit of movement in a blazer. This is a little bit of stretch in that, like, this is like athletic wear stretch. Like, it is insane. So this was just a cool find. I'd never seen anything like it. Eileen Fisher, you know, they surprise me from time to time with their fabrics. I just recently found like a stretch silk piece from them that I've never felt anything like that stretch silk in my life. And this was one of those things that just, I'm like, whoa. First of all, why isn't every blazer in the world made out of that? If you have to be wearing, like, you know, don't get me wrong, like, I love a blazer, but I also love like an oversized blazer. So they have, you know, a lot of movement to them because they're big, right? Like, there's room in the shoulders. But there's a lot of people out there that have to wear, you know, professional dress. They have to wear a suit at work, or they have to wear a blazer at work. And something like this would just make people so much more comfortable. And I wish more companies would do that. Now, I'm sure, this is Eileen Fisher. Eileen Fisher, like, that blazer was probably close to $400 or $500. Like, their stuff is very expensive. You know, so I'm sure their textiles are not the cheapest. You're not gonna find anything like that out of an H&M or anything. Certainly not looking as luxe as that looks. You know, that is stretch without shine, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, sometimes you'll get like a blazer with a little bit of stretch in it, but like there will be like that hint of sheen on the fabric, which, you know, just really cheapens the look for it. Yeah, so I hope you love this. That's such a cool piece. And, you know, I hope you have it in your closet for a long time. So I had both of them. The sweater dress I had since end of summer, which kind of makes sense. It's a sleeveless dress. And then the Eileen Fisher piece I had for about a month. Cost on them both was about $2, and I had the bundle when it was the bundle with my discount was $61, and then I got an offer for $48, which I gladly accepted. And my profit on this ended up being $36, and that is a great bundle. I always love to think about like the grand total of this, if these were bought like retail, has to be close to like $500 or $600, which is crazy. It just goes to show, guys, like if you are in the market for really nice kind of like minimalist classic pieces, look at Eileen Fisher. Like, no lie, they are so expensive retail, extreme high-end retail prices, but on resale, you know, you're gonna get a steal of a deal, and it's gonna be like the best piece. I think I've even gotten my mom hooked on Eileen Fisher, which is a dangerous game to play, but she's the original thrifter, so trust me, she will never pay full price for any of it. Next up is another bundle that came through, and the first piece here is this great little t-shirt from The Great, which is a brand we should all be keeping our eyes out for. Oh my God, I wish you could feel this cotton. You know, when you just have like a premium t-shirt, like how that feels in your hand. So The Great is a brand that is designed by the same designers who do Current Elliott, which I think are mostly known for their jeans, very expensive, and The Great is very expensive. Their t-shirts are about $100, and like, you know, the quality's there. The quality's there. And this is like a cute little ruffle sleeve t-shirt in like a bias cut heather. And then the second piece I have here is this great little Toad & Co., which is like a athletic wear, kind of in the same vein of like a Prana or like a Vuori. Toad & Co. is in that same range. And this is like a little maxi dress. And the coolest thing about this, so you can't really see much definition here, but in the middle of it, like right kind of over the midsection, is a ruched area. And in the ruched area, and this is like the benefit that you get when you're dealing with like an athleisure wear that truly designs for people to be active, there's a little hidden pocket that you can put like a key or a credit card or something in, and it'll be obscured by the fact that it's ruched and it's like close to the body, but you know, you don't have to be like dependent on a purse. In my mind, is like the perfect vacation dress. You know, it can be dressed up for sure. It's a black maxi dress. It's got a built-in shelf bra, which again, you know, truly a one-piece wonder. It's in the super soft, like modal cotton, and it's in fabulous shape. So this is a brand for sure to be on the lookout for. That, like Toad & Co., Vuori, Prana, especially those kind of dresses, they're some of my favorite things to find. They do tend to sell very quickly, and I just love selling because I know that the quality's there. You know, like I've got a bunch of them in my own closet, and I've cycled them out. You know, as I've kind of stopped wearing them, I've sold them, and same deal. They've always sold really quick. Some of them even have like UPF protection, which is great. You know, if you're going somewhere where you're going to be in the sun quite a bit, it cuts down on the amount of like sunscreen you need, but these are they're great dresses, and this is a perfect little bundle. The Great, this was the first piece I ever found from The Great, and I gotta say, I'm super impressed. Is it me, or are these little tabs getting harder to pull out? I've also been getting these 1097 boxes as well as the 1095 boxes. They're a little bit smaller, which I kind of like. They're a perfect size for when you have like a two-piece bundle that maybe you don't want to put into an envelope, but not quite as big as those 1095s, which are great for like big bundles or bulky sweaters or, you know, even sometimes jeans. But I've been getting both of these, and I really like this size. I think it's a perfect like in-between. You know, it makes it like, it matters when I'm transporting a huge stack of boxes or a huge like pile of packages to the post office, like size matters. So anyway, I had these both. I had The Great for just under a month, and I had the Toad & Co. for just under 1 week. And the bundle price was $58, and I got an offer for $48, which I did accept. $2 cost total for both pieces from the bins, and that brought my profit to $36.40. Super happy with that bundle, and happy to get those back out the door. Next up, now this is a bigger bundle. This is a 4-piece bundle. And the first thing on that bundle is this cute little Lululemon sports bra. This is one of their like very medium support bras. This is that Nulu fabric that they make the Align leggings out of. I think that's called like a Y-back. But this one had a couple of pieces from Free People, and actually 2 of them are the same thing but in different colors. So this is called the Tree Swing dress, and it's a true like trapeze silhouette dress. And it's got this cute little collar detail where it's got a little notch. So it's got like a little button that comes across here, and then it's got a V-neck, like a little notch in it. So I had two of these. I had one in black and one in white, and I think they were the same size. It's kind of interesting. I rarely have two of the same pieces at the same time. You know, very commonly I'll have something, oh, I sold this a little while ago, you know, and I'll find another one. Rarely do I find the same kind of piece two at once. So that's the black one, and then here is the white one. Same deal, very cute. They have little side pockets, which I love. Yeah, both size medium. I mean, not only did I find the same dress, but it's the same size. That's rare. But these are super cute. They can be used as a tunic or as a dress. They're kind of that perfect length. They can also be used as like a little like swim cover up. Very cute, very breezy, that kind of classic Free People gauze. Like I can feel a garment in the bins at this point and know if it's Free People gauze. It's just a very distinctive feel. And, you know, I'm somebody like, there's a lot of people who use gloves in the bins. I am not one of those people. I understand why people do. I just like, I always laugh because I come home, I wash my hands like I'm scrubbing in for surgery. And finally in this bundle is this really cute Free People top. It's got, look at these bell sleeves. And this is like the softest, like lightweight jersey. And this is all a printed pattern. It's really pretty. And the way that it sits when it's on body, just the way that like that sleeve is attached, is really flattering. So this was just kind of a cool piece that I found. It's very like, it's super lightweight and simple. And if it didn't have as much going for it as it did, it's not something I necessarily would have picked up because it is just kind of like a little bit of a t-shirt, but I just thought it was so cute and so different. So I am here for it. So there's the four pieces for this bundle. Great little finds. Let's get that all wrapped up for them. So it's interesting, I had the black tree swing dress for quite a while. And I found the white one and I'm like, you know, do I even pick it up? Because I had had that black one for so long. You know, like they don't take up a ton of room and it's a Free People dress. You know, of course it had sat through most of the winter, so I'm not super concerned with that. When all totaled, like the bundle, with my bundle discount, the offering was $96. And I got an offer from the buyer for $85 for all four, which I gladly accepted. I thought that was a very fair deal. And the total cost on everything was $5. One of the two tree swing dresses, I believe, had a cost of $2 from another bin, but that basically brought my profit on all of this to $66, which I am super pleased with. And I'm moving 4 items out the door, and hopefully she loves all of them. Next up, now this was such a cool find, and I mean, this is very much like in my vein. I love a streetwear piece, and these were just so different. So this is a pair of pants from Adidas, and they're not one of the collab pants, but like, look at how wide those legs are. This is like Jenko status, and I will tell you, for anybody who was kind of around my age and remembers Jenko jeans, they're back, guys. They're back. Like, there are 2 or 3 guys that I see at my bins all the time, and they are wearing Jenko jeans, and they are like on trend. And as far as I know, I think that they're being re-released right now. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Anyway, so these were not one of the Adidas collabs. They had these big cargo pockets with this kind of real graphic black and white logo. These are women's pants in this gorgeous brick red, and red is like the color du jour in fashion right now. This was an absolute definitive, absolutely, I'm buying this kind of purchase. So I'm super happy that I grabbed them. I did find them at the bins. They're just so unusual. I mean, my motto always is, if it's weird and well made, I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. If it's weird and made by something like an Adidas, which is always gonna have its hands in streetwear, it's always gonna have its hands in like high fashion in one capacity or another. Maybe not in their like main line, but you know, they're always going to be involved in fashion in one way or another. So I got these and I priced them at $60. I think they retailed for like $128, and I'm pretty sure they're fairly current. I don't think that they're old. I want to say that they are either still in line or are just recently made, maybe a limited edition of some sort. And there weren't many of them out on the market. They are a size large. I think the other ones that were out that I was able to find were like a size small. So, you know, I was really making a guess in terms of pricing. But I was pretty confident that like I would not have gotten less than 50 bucks on these just because of the style. This just, you know, that was a gut feel from the first second that I picked it up. So I had these listed for 60 bucks, and sure enough, within about a month, popped off at a full price sale, which I'm super pleased with. $1 cost from the bins. This brought my profit to $47 on these. And I am just like beyond excited for these to get out the door and get somewhere, because I just think that they're so cool. This is very much, again, like that is something that is very much like on the like, I don't think I would have the guts to wear something like that, but I love that. I love that style. Next up is this cute little sweater from Vintage Havana. Now, I found this a while ago, and I will say that this is not a brand that I would pick up all that often. I picked this up because I wasn't really familiar with it, but the tag felt really nice and the quality was really nice. And when I got home, turns out it's a Nordstrom brand, and it's something that like, it's not one of their more expensive brands. You know, so it's not something that sells retail for over $100. This probably falls in line with, you know, kind of like Brandy Melville pricing. So probably around that like $60, $70 mark. But anyway, so I had it, and you know, my ethos is I have it, I'm gonna sell it. I got it for, I got it for a great deal. I'm not gonna donate it right back. Now, if it sits for a year or two, you know, I'm gonna get to the point where I wanna do that, just because space is finite. You know, I am not sitting on an unlimited storage space, and if something is kind of taking its sweet time to sell and I'm not going to make a ton of money off of it anyway, like, it's going to go back. It's better, or I'll try to take it to Plato's Closet or whatever. I haven't had much luck with Plato's Closet, but I haven't really tried them here in California yet, so maybe I should try to do that at some point and see how that does for some inventory that I have that isn't moving. But I had this, and I found it for $1 at the bins. And I had it listed for $22, and that's around, you know, I wasn't seeing comps much higher than like 25 on anything Vintage Havana. So just like, as you are shopping, if you see pieces, like, just know that that's really the range you're gonna be in. So if you're, you know, paying up a little bit on your sourcing costs, probably not for you. If you're getting it at the bins and like this is something that you move quickly, like, that's a different story. But yeah, so it popped through as a full price sale at $22, which I'm super happy about. And with $1 cost from the bins, that brought my profit to $16.60. So, you know, this is what I like to call a lesson learned for me. I probably won't be picking up more Vintage Havana, but for any of you for whom that's in your kind of sphere of influence, like, just, you know, take the data and do with it as you will. Next up, this is a brand that I've discovered out here, and I kind of love them. The quality is really nice. Everything I've ever found is really nice quality. They're made in San Francisco, and that is Cut Loose. And this is one, I actually found 2 of these, and I don't know if you can see the detail in that. Let's see. Can you see it there now that you see single layer? These are like, almost like burnout cut roses. This is like a big kind of poncho style, like swim cover up. Most of the Cut Loose pieces I have found have been linen, and the linen quality has been beautiful, mostly like linen jersey. And again, you know, they're made in the US, they're dyed in the US, which I love to find. So it's a brand that I keep my eyes out for sure. Every piece I have ever found from Cut Loose has sold pretty quickly, and for a pretty, you know, for a pretty decent price. You know, probably not something I would be paying $10 for, but $1, $2, $3, absolutely, even on like a long sleeve t-shirt, which is the majority of the other pieces that I have found. But they're pretty great. It sounds like some of you find this elsewhere in the country. I'm always interested, because there are so many like small brands out here that I don't know, you know, like if they're only being sold here, or if they're being sold elsewhere in the country in boutiques, or people are buying online, what the case may be. But I'm told that people find cut loose pretty frequently in other parts of the country, so that makes me happy. Great pieces, beautiful quality. So I found this for $1, and again, I found a second one on the same day, so I'm assuming they came from the same closet, and it's the other ones are like a coral pink, which I think will have no problem selling come summer. I had this listed for $26, had zero baseline on it. There were no other sold comps that I could find. Got an offer for $22 after 3 months. I found this kind of end of summer, which I gladly accepted, with a $1 cost from the bins that brought my profit to $11.23. Cool, cute little piece. And next up, this one is a brand to keep your eyes out for sure. This is Zulu and Zephyr. Let's see if I can show you that tag here. I don't know how much you can see it. I'll try to zoom in there. But Zulu and Zephyr is an Australian brand. They do a lot of like swimwear and resort wear. And I didn't know this brand at all until I picked it up the day that I grabbed this. And I am just like dazzled by the quality. Like the fabric is really nice, the construction's really nice, the design, like the placement of things is really nice. You know, and you can always tell like quality. Like if you see here, this is full button. Do you see how this pattern looks like it just flows from one side to the other? Like that takes attention and handwork and more fabric to do. So, you know, you can just tell that this is super high quality. And it is. Like this was probably $200 new. I want to say that they sell certain things at Revolve. I think that that's probably where this came from. Unless this came from like a boutique in Australia. We do have a lot of Australians that live in the area. But yeah, $200. Like I grabbed this because it felt nice in the bins, and when I got it back to my cart, I was pleasantly surprised when I kind of looked it up and saw what some of the other pieces were going for. This is one of their shirt dresses, which I believe is one of their like kind of signature, and a nice black and white print, which I love to find. So just a great find all around. And again, very expensive. A lot of the sold comps I was seeing on these were between like $50 and $100. So I had this listed at $78. So I was kind of like splitting the difference in those sold comps. And I had paid $1 for this at the bin, so 78 bucks would have been a killer profit for me. And it popped through as a full price sale after about 4 months. I did have this for a little while, but I knew that this would sell because the quality is there. Full price sale, $78 after 4 months, and that brought my profit on this to $61.40. I'm telling you guys, this weekend I sold some really great pieces. Like I love these kind of weekends when it just makes me so happy. Next up, this is a very cool vintage piece. This is a dress from Tracy Reese, New York. Now, if you are anywhere close to my age, you remember Plenty by Tracy Reese. It was all over the magazines. It's what, you know, the little starlets wore and everything. And Tracy Reese, New York was her kind of like ready-to-wear line. Very expensive. This was sold at like Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue. This was probably an $800 dress. This is a cute little strapless dress, like, but can you see the movement in it? Like these are little strips. Like, can you kind of see that? These are little strips of silk. This is silk chiffon and this beautiful like turquoise and pink print. It's got beautiful internal structure here. Yeah, I was super excited to find this. The only other one that I had found another piece by Tracy Reese, New York, and it was this going out top. And it was like the definition of a going out top. One of those like heavily beaded, you know, swag shoulder, looked like it was straight off of like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award in 2001. I'll see if I can link that haul down below, or even like the ship with me. I think the haul has a better look at the stuff, but very, very cool. Again, this was probably a good $800 dress. This was no joke expensive. This was true, like ready to wear back in the day. So very, 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 very cool. And I love this pattern. It still feels like, you know, it looks fresh. Like that looks like it could have been made today, right? I'm gonna do a little moisture barrier on this just because it's silk and to kind of protect it a little bit from the elements. Like, it's looking a little doom and gloom outside and I'm trying to speed through these, but gotta make sure these things are taken care of first. So, moisture barrier. So I have this listed. There are clearly no sold comps on this because this is, you know, a 24, 25-year-old dress. And, you know, there probably weren't many sold to begin with. Something at that price was not for like the general masses. Certainly my mother would have laughed at me if I asked for an $800 dress. We'll just leave it at laughed. She would have laughed in my face. But I listed this for $85. I wasn't quite sure what I would get for it. And within about a month and a half, I got an offer for $70. And with a $1 cost from the bins, this brought my profit to $55 even. So I'm super pleased with that. And that is such a cute dress. And I'm so happy that it's gonna go on and get some wear. I hope the buyer loves it because it is just stunning. Next up, now this is a Free People piece. And I've had this one for a while and I'm kind of surprised by it. But also, this is the classic case of a Free People piece being an extra small that could easily fit like a large. And it's kind of hard to convey that in your listings. You know, people come and ask all the time, but like this is huge for an extra small. This would be very, very oversized, but it's this kind of patchwork, super soft jersey. It's got ribbed sleeves. I love the colors. It's got this embroidery detail on the shoulders and on the yoke, V-neck, very, very cute. Yeah, extra small. Every time I have one of these pieces, I always laugh because I'm just like, who does their sizing? Like, who does it? Because it is such a crapshoot. I was just talking to my sister-in-law. She's got one dress from Free People that she really likes, and she's like, I literally have it in an extra small, I have it in a medium, I have it in a large, and she's like, and they all fit me. So, what are you doing, Free People? Please explain it to us. I wish there was like I wish they had like a scale, you know, on their website. Like when you go to buy something from them, like this is extremely oversized. This is not oversized, because sometimes you'll see an extra small piece and it'll be like teeny tiny. So there's no rhyme or reason. So I had this one for about 5 months. I did have it for quite a while. I paid $6 for it at the Goodwill. I had a $35 price on it and got an offer for $26, which I gladly accepted. I was ready to move this guy on. Super, super happy to move it on. And that, with the $6 cost, that brought my profit to $14.80. So still a great profit and a cute little shirt. So I hope she loves it. Next up is this great Chico's, like, this is like their slub tee material, which is so nice. It's nice and like thick and chunky and just really cozy, and it washes beautifully. And it's got this like lace up detail on the front with a little bit of a handkerchief hem in this beautiful like teal colorway. And it's a size 2P, which was, I've kind of slowed up on picking up anything petite. Like I love to have them in stock because I know they can be hard to find, but I'm being selective with which petite pieces I'm pulling in. Because, you know, they do, just by the nature of not as many people being petite, take a little bit longer to sell. And again, my storage is finite here. One of these days I'll have a storage facility with room for everything. That would be such a dream. Once I get that, that'll be the day where I go to the bins and I spend all day, just all day. I pull everything out of it that I can. I know that there are people at my local bins that I go to most that do that. I'm like, where do you go? Show me your storage space. I'm so jealous. You know, the space is at such a premium in California that, like, you know, if you know, you know. So anyway, I had this, and I've had this for a while. I had this for about 6 months, and I did pay $6 for this at the bins, or not at the bins. This one came from the Salvation Army. So I had it listed for $26, and my sidekick offered $23 to somebody who had liked it, and they accepted, which was great. So after about 6 months, $6 cost, this brought my profit to $11.49. Those Chico's pieces are so great. Like they last forever. Next up here, just 2 to go. This is one from my own closet, and these are just a pair of Madewell perfect fit straight leg jeans that I was not wearing. They just didn't fit me the way that I liked, but these are great. Like, this is the perfect vintage fit. This is an inline fit right now. You can go on their website and buy these exact pair of jeans, but they are the curvy fit, which I, strangely enough, didn't love. But anyway, so I've had these for about a year. I want to say I got them probably last year at about this time, and I just didn't wear them. So, you know, I put them up. And I had them live for about 2 months. They are a crop length, so I'm not surprised that it took a little bit longer. I wear crops all year long here, but it's also like not freezing here. You know, a lot of this country, you cannot wear crops right now. And they're not like crops like capris, which also I hear are coming back again. And guys, can we not do capris again? That was such a weird trend in the early 2000s. Oh, it kills me. But anyway, so these sold, again, I had them up for a couple months. I had them up for $45 and got an offer for $35, which I did accept. I was ready to move these on. These were kind of hanging in my closet, and I wanted that hanger space back, so here we are. And now I can get myself a new pair. So my profit on this, profit ended up being about $28 after fees got taken out, and hopefully she loves them. You know, Madewell jeans run about $128 retail. Now you can usually, like if you wait a little bit of time, you'll find a sale on them, but they're pretty pricey. So glad somebody is getting a good deal on those and that those will actually get some use. And finally, one of my favorite basics brands to find, this is James Purse. This is standard James Purse, and so I picked this up, and the contents tag is cut out, but like I couldn't stop touching it. It's just so soft, and like I kept saying to myself, like it looks like a t-shirt, but it feels like a sweater knit. And sure enough, I just started to do a little digging on James Purse and see like what was available in this kind of silhouette, and sure enough, this is cashmere cotton blend, and I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, of course, that makes sense. Now I get it. It is a very fine knit, like actual sweater. It fits like a t-shirt, but it is like butter soft, and it's got great stretch to it too. This was such a cool find. It's a size 3, which is a large in James Purse. And it's one of those brands that I will pick up pretty much anything as long as it's not damaged. Because people really seek it out. They make basics out of like the best materials available. That's like his whole thing. And it's always a safe bet. Like there will always be a buyer for a James Purse piece. My dream, like I first found out about James Purse, I think most of the world found out about him through his like undershirts. Like men really fell in love with the undershirts. But for me, it was the sheets. And the sheets are outrageously expensive. $700 for a set of sheets, which obviously forever out of my budget. But it's one of the things that kind of clued me in. He was one of the designers who kind of took the sheet industry on and, you know, really kind of turned it on its head, like basically explaining how like high thread counts are kind of a marketing ploy. And God, if you guys ever want me to like wax sheets forever, this is like I was borderline, like at one point in my life, I was going down the road to like look into opening a sheet company. That's the level of like obsessed with sheets that I am. But James Purse was really like one of the people that I like did a lot of research on and learned a lot from in the early days, but just great stuff. So, but I found this like a week ago, and the same day that I listed, within hours it sold. I had it listed for $45. I got an offer for $40 and I accepted. So with a $1 cost from the bins, that brought my profit to $28.98. Just love it. I hope she loves it. This is like such a dream shirt and such a good basic. But that is it, guys. That is the shipment for today. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I know there was a lot to get through, but thank you so much for hanging with me while I was getting my stuff done. Literally chatting with me while I do my work, which just like pleases me to no end. But guys, it is looking like the end of days outside, so I am going to wrap this up and get these things over to the post office, hopefully before the skies open up. But if you had fun, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That really helps me out. But without further ado, guys, have the most incredible week. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!